Hello again, everyone. Edwin Laird back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mars sextile or Trine the North Node in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart and a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do is make another series on them, in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have Mars sextile or trine, the north node in your natal chart, one way it may manifest is that you may easily find that energy and vitality, which is Mars, in going after your future, which is the north node. Now, if the north node is in Capricorn, as an example, that future may be tied in business, career-related endeavors. It could be doing something Capricorn-related field, whether it could be architecture, construction, business, dentistry, accounting, government or political work, information technology, masonry, timekeeping as some examples. And also to the people that are prominent in your future, which is the North Node, may be beneficial in terms of the battles, which is Mars, which you may need to be fought, that you need to fight. Now, the thing is, let's say if the North Node is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, those people prominent in your future, one or more, may actually be a Cancer Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, people that are very sympathetic, caring, dedicated, devoted, tenacious, protective, introverted, but may also be very fickle, moody and temperamental, as well. May be very clingy people. But another thing about these aspects in the natal chart is that you may readily find the drive and motivation, which is Mars, to pursue your mission and purpose, which is the North Node. Now, let's say, for example, if the North Node is in Aquarius, that mission and purpose, may be tied in with humanitarian, altruistic endeavors. It could be group-related matters of doing something with astronomy, astrology, computers, electronics, aviation, meteorology, innovation, as some examples. And also, too, Mars sextile or trine the North Node in the natal chart may also be expressed in really readily finding that enthusiasm, which is Mars, in developing positive attributes that are associated with the North Node placement. Now, if you have, say, the North Node in Aries as an example, the positive, attributes connected with the placement, may be tied in, with courage, having initiative, enterprise, being aggressive, assertive, forceful, courageous, doing things with little hesitation or procrastination, being more, about self-reliant, independent, pioneering, as some examples. And another thing about Mars sextile or trine the North Node in the natal chart, it may also be expressed in, being very auspicious for Mars-related people, helping you in what you're learning and aspiring to be, which is the North Node. Now, if the North Node is in Taurus, as an example, what you're learning and aspiring to be, maybe tied in, being persistent, self-reliant, generating your own money, accumulating possessions, being more, money conscious, persevering, patient, trustworthy, calm, learning about calmness, tranquility, having peace, stability, financial stability as some examples. And the thing is, too, these aspects can be auspicious in incorporating leadership prowess and ability, which is Mars, in what your future and destiny, which is the North Node, is. Now, The thing is, now let's say, for example, if your North Node, is in Sagittarius, as an example, your future and destiny, maybe tied in with publishing, advertising, expanding horizons, doing something with printing press operations, sports, the outdoors, foreign travel, working in importing, exporting, just being, very expansive, optimistic. It could be where, Sagittarius is connected with sports and Mars is about leadership. This could be if you have, say, for example, the North Node in Sagittarius, sextile or trine your natal Mars, that could be a very, it could be advantageous for doing something, like as a coach or some other leadership position, in something sports related, as an example. Now, another thing too, you may really easily find that energy, which is Mars, to do what you need to do. What needs to be emphasized and accentuated in the second half of life, which is the North Node. Now, if the North Node is in Gemini, as an example, which you may emphasize and accentuate in the second half of your life, maybe tied in with expressing manifold beliefs, having, being very flexible, in terms of, what, things, ideas, beliefs you may have on issues. It could be expressing versatility, dexterity, adaptability, disseminating information, speaking very, being articulate in your speech, having good diction, as some examples. And the thing too is you may also readily find, the courage and bravery, which is Mars, to go where you need to move toward, and deal with any issues that may need to be addressed and confronted, which is the North Node. Now, the thing about this is, now with the the North Node going to Gemini, again as an example, there may be issues you have to deal with that may be connected with gossiping, or maybe you've had something forged or plagiarized, as an example, or identity compromised, somebody taking your identity. It could, dealing with somebody that was two-faced, as an example. And another thing too, and also too, like say if the North Node is in the first or sixth house, especially, it could be over a physical related issue, that may need to be addressed and confronted, but having, Mars in a good aspect to it could give that, the energy, the courage to be able to deal with that better. Now, another thing too is that Mars-related people may have more of a positive impact on what you're directed to, which is the North Node. And Mars-related people can include sexual partners, or surgeons, people involved in sports or athletics, law enforcement, as some examples. And let's say, if the North Node is in Leo, as an example, what you're directed to may be tied in with some attention-seeking ventures. It could be performing, acting, entertainment, doing something with cardiology, doing things that, where you can be lauded and praised, for your efforts, as some examples. And another thing too is that having Mars sextile or trine the North Node in the natal chart may also manifest in being able to act, with little hesitation or procrastination, which is Mars, in terms of attaining, what is fulfilling for you, which is the North Node. Now, if the North Node is in Pisces, as an example, that fulfillment, may be found in spirituality or meditation, or doing something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology. Some other examples can be poetry, dancing, photography, anesthesiology, helping the less fortunate, which can include the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, and the hungry, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, everyone learn and stay